Hyang sits on a high stool in the middle of a small room. The surroundings are clean and tidy, and the scent of antiseptic fills the air. The technician shows him a printed sheet. On the paper is a woman's face. Hyang looks at him and feels the same as he felt every morning, for the last 6 months, when he woke up and realized he'd been dreaming about her again. He nods. The technician turns on the lamp, the hum of the machine filling the silence. Hyang takes off his shirt and sits up straight. His back is broad, his skin fair. The first touch of the needle is sharp, but he doesn't even wince. Pain is a familiar experience for him. The technician works silently. He's experienced and understands when a client doesn't want to talk. Hyang stares at the wall in front of him. In his mind, he sees that image again. Red hair, long, waist length. Dark skin, smooth, as if glowing from within. Eyes in which he every time drowning. He doesn't know who she is. He doesn't know where she came from in his dreams. At first, it scared him. Then he got used to it. And then he decided he wanted to carry her with him. To always have her near, even if it's just a drawing. Hour follows hour. The master wipes away the excess and changes the needles. Hyang endures. In his world, he's used to getting what he wants. He wants it. Now he wants this girl's face to remain on his skin forever. He feels like it's right, that this is how it should be. The process is slow. First, the general outlines appear. Then the artist begins to work on the details. Hyang feels the needle draw line after line and imagines that one day this will happen. He imagines walking down the street and suddenly seeing her. She will walk towards him, her red hair shining in the sun. He will come up to her and say something simple. And she smiles back at him. The master takes a break. Hyang stands up, goes to the mirror, and looks at his back. It's only an outline for now, but he already recognizes it. A slender neck, the gentle curve of a shoulder. He sits back down. Not much longer, the master says. Hyang nods. The pain has become a background ache, familiar. He thinks about what people say about such things, that tattoos change lives, that they attract what's depicted on them. He didn't believe it before. Now he's ready to believe anything. When the master finishes, Hyang approaches the mirror again. A girl is now staring at his entire back. Her face is half turned, her hair fluttering. It seems as if she's about to come to life and speak to him. Hyang gets dressed, pays the bill, and goes outside. The night is warm. The stars in the sky are hidden by the city lights. He gets into the car and drives home. He thinks he'll dream of something different today. But he's wrong. 3 months pass. The tattoo has long since healed. The colors have become softer, but the design remains just as clear. Hyang got used to it and stopped noticing it 100 times a day. She simply became a part of him, like his arms or legs. A typical Tuesday. The sun is shining brightly. People are rushing about their business. He gets out of the car and walks down the street. He needs to resolve several issues and meet with the right people. He's already mentally running through his plan for the day. And then he freezes. A girl is walking straight towards him. She has red hair. Long, thick, curly. It falls to her waist and sparkles in the sun. She has smooth skin, light makeup, and a slender figure. She's wearing a floor-length beige silk dress that sways softly as she walks. Hyang catches his breath. He recognizes her. He recognizes every detail because he's seen them hundreds of times in dreams and on his own back when he looked in the mirror. The girl walks by, unaware of him. She glances around, seemingly searching for something. She passes by, and Hyang smells her perfume. Light, floral, barely perceptible. He stands rooted to the spot in the middle of the sidewalk. People walk around him. Some look back with displeasure. But he can't move, because he understands. This is not a dream. This is reality. It exists. She steps forward, and Hyang suddenly comes to his senses. He turns and takes a step after her, then another. His heart pounds somewhere in his throat. He's never been a coward, never lost in any situation, and now he's afraid to approach her. But he approaches, because not approaching means losing her forever. Hyang overtakes her and steps right in her path. The girl stops, almost crashing into him. She looks up and at him. Her gaze is at first surprised, then wary. Hyang is large, athletic, and dressed in black. His hair is gelled, and his gaze is serious. From an outsider's perspective, he might seem dangerous. The girl takes a step back. Sorry, she says. Her voice is calm, but her eyes are already filled with worry. Hyang is silent. He simply looks at her and can't believe his eyes. She's even more beautiful than in the drawing, than in her dreams. Alive, real, breathing. Are you okay? She asks, seeing his strange state. Should I get you some water? He shakes his head and finally finds his voice. No, I'm fine. It's just, you won't believe it. The girl raises an eyebrow. Her red curls fall over her shoulder. She waits, but is already ready to leave. There are plenty of strange types like that on the street. My name is Hyang, he says. I'm not stalking you. I need to tell you something. Who are you? She asks. I don't know you. I know. I know. I know how that sounds. But can I invite you for coffee? For 5 minutes. If I say something wrong, you'll just get up and leave. The girl looks at him for a long moment. Something in his eyes stops her from simply turning and leaving. There's no threat in his gaze. There's genuine shock there, mixed with tenderness. Shanika, she says. My name is Shanika, and I don't have time for coffee. She wants to go around him, but Hyang steps aside, blocking the way. Please, he says quietly. I've been waiting for this meeting my whole life. I just didn't know about it until today. They are sitting behind a table in a street cafe. Shanika ordered just water. Hyang doesn't even look at the menu. He looks only at her. Well, says Shanika. I'm listening, just hurry. I really have things to do. Hyang collects his thoughts. How can he say something that won't make her get up and leave right away? He decides to be direct. 6 months ago, I started having this dream. He begins. The same one. In this dream, I see a girl. She has red hair down to her waist, dark, smooth skin. She smiles at me, but we never talk. I just look at her. Shanika looks at him ironically. She thinks this is some kind of cheap way to get to know him. Next, she says dryly. 3 months after the dreams became constant, I went to a studio and got a tattoo. It's all over my back. A portrait of this girl. Shanika almost chokes on her water. She puts the glass down on the table and looks at him differently. Are you saying you got a tattoo of the stranger from your dream? She asks. Seriously? Yes. And what does that have to do with me? Hyang looks her straight in the eyes. You look exactly the same. Your hair, your skin, your eyes, everything. Shanika is silent for a few seconds. Then she starts laughing, nervously, a little loudly. People at the neighboring tables turn around. That's the weirdest way to meet someone I've ever heard, she says. Honestly, do you give lessons? No, seriously, that's original. The girl from the dream, the tattoo on her back. What next? We're meant to be together because the stars aligned? Hyang isn't offended. He understands her reaction. I know how it sounds, he says calmly. But it's true. Shanika stops laughing and looks at him seriously. Listen, Hyun, I don't know who you are or what you want, but stories like this don't happen in real life. This is a movie, a book, not here and not with us. Shanika is about to get up, but something stops her. Maybe his calm, maybe the way he looks at her, as if she really is the miracle he's been waiting for his whole life. Prove it, she says suddenly. What? Prove it's really my face there. If you got a tattoo 3 months ago and you're seeing me for the first time in your life, then you have someone else on your back. They look alike. Why? But different. Hyang is silent. He understands she's right. From the outside, it sounds like a fairy tale. Show me, Shanika says. Right now. Then maybe I'll believe you. She doesn't understand why she's saying this. Usually she's cautious, doesn't go out with strangers, doesn't provoke large men. But there's something different here. She genuinely wants to know if he's lying or not. Hyang looks around. They're sitting in a cafe surrounded by people. He can't just take off his shirt in the middle of the street. Here? He asks. What's wrong? Shanika shrugs. If you're not lying, then what's there to be embarrassed about? Beaches, pools, everyone goes shirtless. Or did you just make this story up? She's deliberately pressuring him, testing him. If he refuses, it's a lie. If he agrees, she doesn't even know what then. Hyang thinks for a few seconds. Then he calls the waiter, pays for the water, and stands up. Okay, he says. Let's go. Just not here. I'll find a place where no one else is. Shanika stands up after him. Everything inside her is shaking. Fear mixes with a wild curiosity. She follows him, not understanding why. Hyang leads her down the street, then turns into a narrow alley between houses. It's quiet here, almost deserted. The sun doesn't shine well, it's cool. The walls are old, covered in graffiti. He stops at the very end, where the alleyway meets a wall. No one would walk in here by accident, that's for sure. Here, he says. Shanika stops a few meters away. Her heart is pounding somewhere in her throat. She's alone in an empty alley with a large stranger. Any sane girl would say this is crazy, but she's already here. Hyang looks at her, then slowly grabs the hem of his black t-shirt. He pulls it up. First, his stomach, abs, and cleavage are revealed. Then he turns his back to her. Shanika sees broad shoulders, powerful muscles, and then she sees the design. His entire back is taken up by the image. It's a portrait of a woman. Red hair flutters as if in the wind, delicate features, the smooth line of the neck, and even the drawn skin conveys a tone very similar to her own. Shanika catches her breath. She moves closer. She needs to make sure. Shanika stands very close. She examines every line, every shadow. The drawing is masterful. The hair looks voluminous, alive. Her eyes stare straight at the person standing behind her. She raises her hand and touches the design with her fingertips. Hyang's skin is warm and smooth. Under her fingers, she feels a subtle texture, the marks of the needle. This isn't a sticker. This isn't a temporary design. This is deeply ingrained, permanently etched into her skin. She traces her finger along his hairline, down to his neck, to his shoulder. Every detail matches what she sees in the mirror every morning. This can't be, she whispers. Hyang stands still. He feels her touch, and a shiver runs down his spine. For the first time in months, he feels truly alive. Do you believe me now? He asks quietly. Shanika doesn't answer. She can't speak. She simply runs her finger over the drawing, trying to find even one difference, even one detail that will prove it's just a coincidence. But there are none. How? Shanika finally breathes out. She takes a step back, but she can't tear her eyes away from the drawing. How is this possible? Hyang lowers his shirt and turns to face her. His face is serious, but there's something warm in his eyes. I don't know, he answers honestly. I just saw you in my dreams. Every night. And one day I decided that I wanted you to be with me, at least like this. Shanika shakes her head. She's scared. Not because he might be dangerous, but because it breaks everything she believed in. Coincidences don't happen. And this is no coincidence. Were you stalking me? She asks suspiciously. Maybe you saw me somewhere and forgot, and your brain turned it into a dream? It happens. People see faces on the street, and then they dream of strangers. Hyang shakes his head. I've never seen you. I would have remembered. How can you be so sure? Because there are no people like you. You are alone. Shanika looks away. She feels uncomfortable with such words. Too direct, too honest. I need to think, she says. This is too much. She turns and starts to leave. Hyang doesn't stop her. He simply watches her go. Shanika walks a few steps, then stops. She stands with her back to him, silent. Then she turns. Give me your phone, she says. Hyang hands it to her. Shanika quickly enters her number and hands it back. I'll call, she says. If I want. Don't call me yourself. Don't text me. I'll do it myself. She waits for his reaction. Usually, men start arguing, persuading, begging. Hyang simply nods. Okay. Shanika leaves. She walks quickly, almost running. She feels like if she turns around, she'll see his eyes again and won't be able to leave. Hyang remains standing in the alley. He stares at the wall in front of him, but sees nothing. There's only one thing in his head. She exists. She's real. And she's gone. All day, Shanika walks around beside herself. She tries to work, but her thoughts return to this man, to his back, to her face, tattooed on her skin. She searches for a catch. She thinks that this could be someone's joke. Maybe they're filming her with a hidden camera for some show? But there's no one around, no cameras, no spectators. Maybe he's some kind of maniac who collects information on girls and then tattoos them with their faces. But why? And how did he know about her if she's seeing him for the first time? By evening, her head is splitting. Shanika lies down on the couch and stares at the ceiling. The moment in the alley flashes through her mind, his warm skin under her fingers, a design that repeats every feature of her. This can't be, she whispers into the void. But it is. The next day, Shanika wakes up with the thought that she needs to check everything. She can't just sit and wait. If this man is right, if he dreamed about her, then it changes everything. She takes a mirror and examines herself for a long time. Her hair, her eyes, her lips. Then she brushes her hair aside and looks at her neck. There's a small mole there. Normal, unremarkable. No one ever notices it because it's hidden by her hair. Even her ex-boyfriend of 2 years discovered it by accident when she was putting her hair up. Shanika freezes. She remembers the tattoo on Hyang's back. There, on the neck of the girl she'd drawn, there was also a dot. Small, dark, she thought it was a shadow or a defect in the design. But what if it wasn't a shadow? Shanika grabs her phone. She frantically searches her memory for this man's name. Hyang. She types the name into the search engine, but nothing comes up. Too common. She wants to dial his number, right now. But she stops herself. She told herself not to call. The whole day passes in agony. Shanika replays the moment in the alley in her head. She tries to remember exactly whether the birthmark was there or not. She remembers her fingers tracing the pattern. It seems she felt it. By evening, she gives in. She grabs her phone, finds the incoming number in the history. He used it when he paid at the cafe, and presses call. Hello? Hyang's calm voice comes over the phone. This is Shanika, she says. I need to see you, now. Hyang gives the address. Shanika writes it down and hangs up. She stands in the middle of her room and looks at the phone. What is she doing? Why is she calling him? But it's too late to back out. An hour later, she stands at the entrance to a quiet cafe. Small, cozy, with soft lighting inside. Hyang is already waiting for her at a table by the window. When she enters, he stands. It's a simple movement, but there is a sense of respect in it. He doesn't sit until she does. Thank you for coming, he says. Shanika sits down opposite him. She looks at him carefully, studying him. Today, he's wearing a simple shirt and dark trousers. His hair is just as neatly styled. He looks calm, but you can tell in his eyes that he's nervous. Nervous, too. I shouldn't have called, says Shanika. I asked you not to text or call, and now I'm sitting here. Rules are made to be broken, answers Hyang. The waiter comes to the table. Shanika orders coffee, Hyang just water. They are silent until the waiter leaves. Then Shanika leans forward. I remembered something, she says quietly. On the tattoo, the girl has a small dot on her neck. A birthmark. Hyang nods. He remembers. The artist asked him then if he really wanted that detail. Hyang said yes, because in the dream, the girl had this birthmark. I have the same one, Shanika continues. In the same place. It's almost invisible. It's under my hair. No one knows about it. Hyang remains silent, giving her the opportunity to say everything she wants. It can't be a coincidence, Shanika whispers. It can't. I've been thinking all day, going through the options. Maybe I'm famous, and you're a fan? But I'm nobody. Maybe you caught a glimpse of me somewhere and then forgot? But you couldn't see the birthmark. It's really invisible. I don't know how to explain it, says Hyang. I just know it was you. From the first moment I saw you on the street, I knew. The waiter brings coffee. Shanika takes the cup, warms her hands on it. She needs the warmth. Everything inside her is shaking from what's happening. I'm afraid, she admits. Of what? Of everything. Of you. Of this story. Of what it means. Hyang looks at her for a long moment. I'm afraid too, he says. I've never been afraid. But now I'm afraid you'll get up and leave, and I'll never see you again. They sit in the cafe for a long time. They talk about simple things. Shanika explains that she works with children. She teaches them to draw, sculpt, and make things with their hands. She loves her job. She loves watching the children's eyes light up when they succeed. You're creative, Hyang remarks. And you? Shanika asks. What do you do for a living? Hyang is silent for a few seconds. Then he says, I have my own business. A small one. People work for me. He's not lying, but he's not telling her everything. Shanika senses this, but doesn't press. She understands that everyone has their own secrets, especially in the beginning. Is it hard being in charge? She asks. Sometimes, Hyang replies, but I'm used to it. I'm always responsible for myself, for those around me. Shanika looks at his hands, large, strong, yet delicate. Hands like these can protect and do something tender. She catches herself thinking about this and looks away. Tell me more about yourself, Hyang asks. He really wants to listen. He doesn't need to talk about himself. It's important for him to get to know her. Every little detail, what she likes to eat for breakfast, what music she listens to, what she's afraid of, what she dreams about. Shanika talks about her childhood, about how she moved to this city, about her friends she's been friends with since childhood, about how she once wanted to give up everything and go to the ocean, but she didn't dare. Why didn't she dare? Hyang asks. It's scary. Shanika shrugs. Alone, without money, without a plan. Dreams are great, but reality is harsh. Hyang nods. He understands. In his world, there are dreams and reality too. Only reality is often even harsher. If you want to go, I'll go with you, he says simply. Shanika freezes. He says it so easily, as if they've known each other for ages. As if it's normal to offer such a thing to a stranger. Are you serious? She asks. Absolutely. She doesn't know what to say, so she just smiles, for the first time that evening. By the time they leave the cafe, it's already dark. Hyang offers to walk her home. Shanika agrees. They walk down the street, and she notices people staring at them. Not just passers-by, who glance at them and move on. They really stare. Several men of different ages, standing by cars, by stores. They follow them with their eyes. Do you know them? Shanika asks quietly. I know, Hyang answers calmly. These are my people. They make sure everything is okay. Okay? Shanika asks. Or maybe not okay? Hyang stops and turns to her. Never with me, I promise. She looks at him and believes, not because he inspires confidence, but because there is no choice. Either believe or run. And she doesn't want to run anymore. They walk on. Shanika finds herself thinking that she likes this feeling. She is safe with him. Whoever is looking at them, whoever is watching, she is protected. It is frightening and attractive at the same time. Do you have many people like this? She asks. Enough. Are they always with you? When needed, needed now. Shanika doesn't ask why needed now. She guesses. A new person in his life. He needs to check, make sure there is no threat. She is not offended. In his world, this is normal. They reach her house. A small old building, a shabby door. I live here, says Shanika. She suddenly feels embarrassed for her home next to him, with his confidence and his people. Hyang looks at the building, then at her. A beautiful place, he says. Old but beautiful. It has soul. Shanika smiles. He said exactly what was needed. Thank you for the evening, she says. Thank you for coming. She walks into the entrance. Turning around, he sees him standing and watching her. He stands until the door closes. Shanika does not sleep that night. She lies with her eyes open and goes over everything that happened in her mind. Every detail, every word. She tries to find a logical explanation. Maybe she saw him before? Somewhere in a cafe, on public transport, on the street? She closes her eyes and tries to remember. She goes over faces, places, events. No. She sees his face for the first time. Faces like these are unforgettable. Large features, a calm gaze, confidence in every movement. If she had met him earlier, she would have remembered. Then how? How could he have seen her in a dream? How did the birthmark end up in the drawing? Shanika gets up, goes to the mirror. She pushes her hair back, looks at her neck. The birthmark is there, small, round. She touches it with her finger. As a child, she hated it. She wanted to smooth it out, remove it. Her mother used to say, "It's your special feature. What makes you, you?" Now, for the first time, she thinks her mother was right. She goes back to bed. His voice pops into her head, calm, low. "If you want to go, I'll go with you." No one had ever said that to her. No one had ever offered to just up and go. Everyone always wanted something from her: time, attention, care. And he simply offers to be there. Shanika falls asleep in the morning, and she dreams of Hyang. For the first time, she dreams of him, not of him. They meet again in 2 days. Shanika suggests it. She needs to see him, talk, make sure that all of this is real. They are sitting on a bench in the park. The evening is warm. There are few people. Shanika looks at the sunset and is silent. Hyang sits next to her, not rushing her. "You said you saw me in a dream," she begins. "Tell me. How was it?" Hyang thinks. He has never told anyone about this. It was too personal. "The first time I saw you was 6 months ago," he says. "I woke up in the morning and realized that I had been looking at a strange girl all night. She did nothing. She just stood there and smiled. But I remembered every feature. And then what? Then the dream repeated itself, a week later. Then again. I began to wait for these dreams. I went to bed and hoped that you would come." Shanika listens, holding her breath. "After 3 months, I realized I couldn't take it anymore," Hyang continues, "that I wanted to see you in real life. That's when I went to the studio, so that you could be with me, at least like this." "Weren't you afraid it was weird?" Shanika asks. "What would people think?" "I don't care what people think. I'm used to doing what I think is right." Shanika is silent. Then she turns to him. "And if you had never met me?" Hyang looks into her eyes. "I knew I would meet. I didn't know how, I didn't know when, but I knew I would meet." "From where?" "I don't know. I just knew." Shanika looks away. It sounds crazy, but there's so much certainty in his voice that she begins to believe what common sense forbids her to believe. The sun sets, it gets cool. Shanika wraps herself in a light jacket. Hyang notices this. "Cold?" he asks. "Maybe we should go?" "Wait." She stops him. "I want to look again." "What?" "The tattoo. I want to see it in the light. It was dark in the alley last time." Hyang looks around. The park is almost empty. Only a woman with a dog is walking in the distance. "Here?" he clarifies. "What's the big deal?" Shanika smiles. "You yourself said that you don't care what people think." Hyang grins. He stands up, takes off his jacket, then his shirt. He remains in a t-shirt. Shanika stands too. She walks around him and stops behind him. Hyang pulls his t-shirt up. The evening air touches his skin. Shanika looks at the drawing. Now, in the light of the setting sun, she sees every detail: hair, eyes, lips, neck, and a small dot on the neck. Shanika raises her hand and runs her finger along the line of the drawing. Slowly, carefully, she touches the drawn hair, moves down to his shoulder. The design is warm against his skin. "It's really me," she whispers. "It's not just like me. It's me." Hyang stands still. He feels her every touch. His breath catches. Shanika doesn't remove her hand. She runs her finger over the design, studying every line. She needs to make sure this isn't a hallucination, that this man is real, that the tattoo is real, that all of this is really happening to her. Hyang stands very still. He's afraid to move so as not to scare this moment away. Her fingers on his skin are the most pleasant thing he's felt in a long time. Shanika runs her palm down his back, feels the warmth, the smoothness of the skin, the slight texture of the design. She lingers on the spot where her face is drawn. "You carry me on your back," she says quietly. "Every day. At work? At home? Everywhere. Yes. Is it hard?" "What?" "Carrying me." Hyang turns slowly. Now they are face to face, very close. Shanika removes her hand but doesn't move away. "It's not hard," he says. "It's the only thing that makes sense." They look at each other. The park is quiet, only the wind rustling the leaves. Shanika sees his eyes. There is nothing in them but her. She takes a step forward. She doesn't understand why. It's just that her legs carry her closer to him. Hyang raises his hand and gently touches her hair. His fingers stroke the red curls, softly, carefully, as if she were fragile and precious. Shanika closes her eyes. She feels his breath on her face, feels his hand on her hair, feels everything inside her freeze. "Hyang," she whispers. He doesn't answer. He just looks at her, and there's more in that look than in any words. The next day, Hyang comes to see her in the morning. Shanika comes out of the building and sees his car. A man in dark clothes is standing next to the car. When Shanika appears, he nods and steps aside. "Is it always going to be like this?" she asks, getting into the car. "Get used to it," Hyang smiles. "They're just doing their job." They're going to breakfast at a small place Shanika likes. Simple food, simple people, no luxury. Hyang likes it here. He says he's tired of the pomp. While they eat, Shanika notices new people coming into the cafe. Men. They sit at different tables, order coffee, and pretend to read their phones. But in reality, they're watching the entrance, the windows, everyone who comes close. "These are yours," Shanika whispers. "Mine," Hyang nods. "They're wondering who you are. They've never seen me with a girl. What do they think?" "I don't know yet, but I will soon." After breakfast, they walk around the city. Hyang takes her to nice places, shows her parks, embankments, quiet streets that she didn't know about. He knows the city better than she does, and people are always nearby. They keep their distance, but always in sight. Shanika sees them out of the corner of her eye and feels almost like a celebrity. In the evening, they sit in the park again. Hyang walks her home. He stops at the entrance. "Aren't you afraid?" he asks. "Of what?" "All of this. My people, my life, me." Shanika looks at him for a long time. Then she shakes her head. "I'm afraid of only one thing, that this is a dream, that I'll wake up and none of this will happen." Hyang takes her hand, firmly but not painfully. "This is not a dream. I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere." A week passes. Shanika invites Hyang over. She spends a long time getting ready, cleaning the apartment, thinking about what to cook. She's nervous, like a girl. He comes with flowers. Simple, wild flowers. Not those expensive bouquets that people give to show off their status, but the ones they give to make someone happy. "You like wildflowers," he says. "I remember." Shanika takes the flowers and feels everything inside her melt. He remembered. From their conversation a week ago, he remembered that she likes simple flowers. She shows him her apartment, small, cozy, with old renovations, with drawings on the walls that she made herself, with books that she loves, with photographs of friends on the shelf. Hyang walks around and looks at everything. He's interested. It's important for him to understand how she lives. "Did you draw this?" he asks, stopping at a large drawing on the wall. "Yes. A long time ago, back in college. Beautiful, very." Shanika is embarrassed. She's not used to compliments. She doesn't believe in them. "Do you want me to teach you?" she suddenly offers. "How to draw. Come to my classes. The children will be happy." Hyang smiles. She imagines herself among the children with brushes. "Do you think I can do it?" "Of course. The main thing is to want it." They sit down to drink tea. Shanika talks about her students, about the boy who was afraid to draw, but now can't tear himself away from the paper, about the girl who dreams of becoming an artist, about how proud she is of every one of their successes. Hyang listens and sees how her eyes light up, how she glows when she talks about her work. And she realizes that the image on his back is just a pale shadow. The living Shanika is 1,000 times brighter, more beautiful, more real. "I want to be a part of your world," he says. "If you let me in." Shanika looks at him, at this large man who controls people, who is used to giving orders, and who is now sitting in her small kitchen, drinking tea from an old mug and asking to be let into her life. "You're already in it," she replies. Shanika comes home and immediately notices that something is wrong. The door to her apartment is ajar. She pushes it open and goes inside. The room is a mess. Drawers are pulled out. Things are scattered on the floor. Someone has searched her place. She stands in the middle of the room and doesn't know what to do. Her hands are shaking. Her first thought is to call the police. Her second is to call Hyang. She calls Hyang. He arrives in 15 minutes. He enters the apartment and looks around. His face is calm, but his eyes are cold. Shanika sees this look and understands that it's best not to ask questions now. Are you okay? He asks. Yes, I wasn't there. I came home and then… Good. The main thing is that you're safe. He walks around the room, looking at his things. Then he approaches Shanika and takes her hand. Let's go to my place. We can't stay here yet. But my things… People will come and clean everything up. You'll tell them what's missing. I'll find it. Shanika wants to object, but she realizes there's no point in arguing. And besides, she's truly scared to stay here. She gathers the bare essentials. Hyang waits by the door, looking at her phone, writing something. When she's ready, they go out. Several of his people are already standing at the entrance. Hyang speaks to them briefly, quietly. They nod and enter the building. Shanika is silent in the car. She looks out the window and tries to understand what happened. Who needs her? What can they take from her? Hyang doesn't touch her, doesn't speak. He gives her time to recover. Only when they enter his apartment does he stop and turn to her. It's because of me, he says. Someone decided to test who you are, to scare you, to show that they can get to me through you. Shanika looks at him. She doesn't cry, although she wants to. So what now? You're under my protection now. Always. And they will know it. The next morning, Hyang brings her coffee in bed. And next to the cup lies her favorite thing, an old porcelain figurine that used to stand on the shelf. The one she bought many years ago at the market. The one that is dear to her like a memory. How? She whispers. But it was broken. I saw the shards. I found the same one, Hyang answers simply. Not the original, but an exact copy. Shanika picks up the figurine, examines it. It is it. The very one. He didn't just tidy up. He gave her back what was dear to her, because he listened, because he remembered, because it was important to him. Thank you, she says. It's my job. Hyang smiles. To take care of you. They are sitting on the balcony of his apartment. The evening is warm. The city is noisy below. Shanika drinks tea. Hyang silently looks at the lights. I was thinking today, Shanika begins, about what happened, about how you decided everything. I didn't want you to worry. I'm not worried. I don't worry around you. It's strange, right? I should be afraid, worried. But I'm calm. Hyang turns to her. It's not weird. It's right. How do you know what's right? Asks Shanika. We've known each other for less than a month. And it feels like our whole lives. Shanika is silent. Then she puts down her cup and looks at him. You know, I feel it too. It's like I've known you for 100 years. It's like we've always been together. We just met late. Hyang takes her hand in his. I've never told anyone things like this before, he admits. I didn't know how, but with you, it happens naturally. Maybe because it's true? Maybe because it's you. They sit for a long time. They talk about all sorts of nonsense and about important things, about childhood, about fears, about dreams. And with every word, Shanika understands. This is it. The very person with whom you can be silent and talk, who understands without explanations. I love you, she says suddenly. Without expecting it, Hyang freezes. He looks at her for a long, long time. I've been waiting for these words my whole life, he replies. I just didn't know I was waiting for them. In the morning, Shanika wakes up and the first thing she sees is his face. Hyang is sitting in a chair opposite the bed and looking at her. Just looking. Have you been here long? She asks sleepily. No, I just got here. I'm admiring him. Shanika smiles. She feels both awkward and pleased. Aren't you tired of him yet? Never will be. She gets up and goes to the kitchen. Hyang has already made breakfast. Simple, but delicious. She sits down and eats, feeling his gaze. Stop it, she laughs. It's uncomfortable to eat. Get used to it. Over breakfast, she suddenly realizes one thing. She has stopped looking for a catch. She has stopped analyzing his every word, every action. She has stopped expecting him to be someone other than who he claims to be. She simply accepts him as he is, with his story, with his people, with his strange appearance in her life. What are you thinking about? Hyang asks. About us, Shanika answers honestly. That I don't doubt anymore. At all. Did you doubt before? Of course. It would be strange not to. A stranger with dreams, with a tattoo, with people who follow everywhere. And now? Now I just know. It's true. This whole crazy story is the absolute truth. Hyang gets up, comes to her, hugs her from behind. She feels his warmth, his breath on her hair. Thank you, he whispers. For what? For believing. They decide to spend their first official evening together. Not at home, not on the balcony, but out in the city. Like ordinary people. Shanika puts on her favorite dress. Hyang waits in the living room, leafing through a magazine. When she comes out, he looks up and freezes. You, he begins and falls silent. What? You're beautiful. Very. Shanika is embarrassed, but she's pleased. They go out. A car is parked at the entrance, with Hyang's people nearby. He nods to them, and they fall behind. Today, he wants to be alone with her. They go to a small restaurant where it's quiet and cozy. They order food, wine. They talk about all sorts of nonsense. They laugh. After dinner, Hyang asks her to wait. He goes out and returns a minute later with a package. Small, dull. This is for you, he says. Shanika opens it. Inside is a box of paints. Good, professional ones, the kind she always wanted but couldn't afford. You said your old ones were they ran out, Hyang explains. I thought the new ones might come in handy. Shanika looks at the box, then at him, then back at the box. She wants to say something, but the words won't come. What? Hyang asks. Not those. I can change them. Those, she whispers. The best ones. You? How did you remember? I remember everything about you. Every word. Shanika gets up, walks around the table and hugs him. Right there in the restaurant, in front of everyone. She doesn't care, because this man listens to her. Really listens. Another month passes. They are almost inseparable. Shanika sometimes spends the night at her place, but more often at Hyang's. Her things are gradually moving to his apartment. It happens on its own, without any arrangements. In the evening, they sit on the balcony. Shanika draws in her new notebook. Hyang reads some papers. There is silence, but not tense, but cozy. Shanika, Hyang suddenly says. Hmm? She looks up. He looks at her very seriously. I want to ask you something. Go ahead. Hyang stands up and approaches her. Then he drops to one knee, right on the balcony floor. Shanika freezes. I didn't prepare, he says. I don't have a ring. I don't have a beautiful speech. But I can't wait any longer. Hyang, will you marry me? Please. I want to wake up next to you every morning. I want to fall asleep next to you every night. I want you to be my family, forever. Shanika looks at him, at this enormous man kneeling before her, at the man who controls others, and now he asks her, waiting for her answer. Yes, she says. Yes, yes, yes. Hyang stands up and scoops her up in his arms. He spins her around the balcony. Shanika laughs, then cries, then laughs again. Put me down, you crazy man, she begs. Let's drop me. I won't drop me. I will never drop me. He sets her down, but doesn't let go. He hugs her tightly. Are you really willing? He asks. You won't change your mind? And you? Aren't you afraid that I won't be the one? You are the one. From the first dream, I knew you were the one. Shanika wipes away her tears. I agreed even then. In the alley, when I saw my portrait. I just didn't know it. And now I know. Hyang kisses her, long, tenderly. Then he breaks away and looks into her eyes. I love you, Shanika. And I love you. Very much. They stand on the balcony, hugging, and look out at the city at night. Cars hum below. Music plays somewhere in the distance. And for them now, there is only this moment. And each other. They decide not to throw a noisy event. There is no need for hundreds of guests, expensive halls, competitions, and dancing until the morning. They want silence. Only the closest ones. Shanika calls a friend she has been friends with since childhood. At first, she doesn't believe it, then starts screaming with joy into the phone. Are you getting married? To that one? The one with the tattoo? To him himself. I will come. I will definitely come. I wouldn't miss it for anything. Hyang calls several of her people, those he trusts, those who have been with him for many years. They are surprised, but happy. They've never seen their leader so happy. They choose a small location outside the city. Simple, but beautiful. A wooden house, a garden, a river nearby. Just what they need. Shanika takes care of the details herself. It's important to her that everything is just the way she wants. Hyang doesn't interfere. She says, "Your decision is binding." The day before the ceremony, they arrive at the location. They check everything. Shanika is nervous, although she tries not to show it. Hyang notices and hugs her. "Everything will be fine," he says. "I know, it's so exciting." "For me, too. The first time in my life." They laugh. And indeed, everything is a first for him. First love, first family, first wedding. The morning of the ceremony. Shanika wakes up early. The sun is already shining. The birds are singing. She lies in bed and smiles. Her friend arrives in an hour. She brings with her cosmetics, hairpins, all sorts of feminine things. They drink coffee, chat, get ready. "Are you nervous?" asks her friend. "A lot." "And he?" "He never shows it. But I know he is." Shanika puts on a dress. Beige, silk, floor length. The very one she fell in love with from the first fitting. It fits perfectly, accentuates her figure, but doesn't shout about itself. Simple and beautiful. She leaves her hair loose. Red curls fall to her waist, shining in the sun. Light makeup, just to highlight the eyes and lips. Her friend looks at her and throws up her hands. "You look like a picture," she says. "He'll fall when he sees you." "I wish," Shanika laughs. "But he doesn't fall. Never." They get out. The car is already waiting. Shanika gets in and drives to the ceremony site. Her heart is pounding. Everything will be fine. She knows. The place is beautiful, a garden, flowers, a river in the distance. There are few guests. Shanika's friend, a few of Hyana's people, and the host. There's no one else. Hyang stands by the archway decorated with flowers. He's dressed perfectly, his hair done. He looks down the road and waits. When Shanika appears, he freezes. She walks toward him slowly, her dress swaying, her hair glowing in the sun. She smiles, though her lips tremble. Hyang doesn't take his eyes off her, not for a second. She comes over and takes his hands. They stand facing each other. The host speaks words. Beautiful, correct. But they barely hear. They look only at each other. "Do you agree?" the host asks Hyang. "Yes," he answers firmly. "Do you agree?" He turns to Shanika. "Yes." They exchange rings. Simple, without stones, just the way they wanted. "I now pronounce you husband and wife," the host says. The world freezes. Hyang takes Shanika's face in his hands and kisses her, tenderly, carefully, as if she were the most precious thing he has. And so she is. After the ceremony, there was a small dinner. Simple food, good wine, and conversation. Shanika's friend has already made friends with Hyang's people. Everyone is laughing and making noise. Then they turn on the music. The first dance. Hyang leads Shanika to the center. They embrace and begin to move. Slowly, smoothly. Shanika rests her head on him, feels his heartbeat. She runs her hand down his back. Through the fabric of his jacket, she feels the outline of a design, the very tattoo that started it all. "Remember?" she whispers. "I remember every moment. If you hadn't come up to me then, I would have come up to me. I would have come up to me in any life." They whirl in the dance. The guests watch and smile. A good couple. Rare, real. "I'm happy," says Shanika. "Very. Me too. For the first time in my life, I'm simply happy. Without conditions, without reasons, just because you exist." The music ends, but they continue to stand, hugging. No one interferes. Everyone understands. The morning after the wedding. Shanika is the first to wake up. She lies and looks at the sleeping Hyang. In his sleep, he looks younger, calmer. She smiles. He opens his eyes and immediately sees her gaze. "Have you been looking at me for long?" he asks hoarsely, sleepily. "Not really. Admiring." "Me?" "You. Us. Life. He pulls her towards him, hugs her. It feels so good that he doesn't want to get up. But he has to. The whole day lies ahead. The first day of their life together as husband and wife. They are drinking coffee in the kitchen. Hyang is wearing a t-shirt. Shanika is wearing his shirt. An ordinary morning, but special. Do you remember how we met? She asks. Of course, you wanted to run away. I was afraid. And now? Now I know there's nothing to be afraid of. You are my home. Hyang smiles. Simple words, but they warm better than any fire. Do you remember what you said when you saw the tattoo? He asks. This can't be. But it was. And it is. They laugh. How absurdly it all began. How amazing it continues. Time passes. Shanika and Hyang get used to each other. They learn each other's habits, weaknesses, little things. They become closer. People around them notice how well they fit together. Hyang was always serious, withdrawn. Now he smiles more often. His eyes are warmer. His voice is softer. Shanika was always free, a little anxious. Now she is calm. She knows that there is someone who will watch her back. Someone who will never betray her. He is her wall, protection from the whole world. She is his light, something that warms her from within. You are made for each other, says Shanika's friend. At first, I didn't believe this story. I thought he made it up to charm me, but now I see it's true. It's true, agrees Shanika. And how are you living? Good, just good. No drama, no scandals. We don't fight. At all? At all. There is nothing to fight about. He listens, I hear. That's enough. The friend shakes her head. Rare happiness. It almost never happens, but they do. One evening, they are sitting at home. Shanika is reading. Hyang is working with papers. Silence. Hyang, she calls. How are we doing? Why are we doing so well? He puts the papers aside, comes over to her, and sits down next to her. Because we don't try to change each other, he replies. You don't interfere in my affairs. I don't tell you how to live your life. We're just here. But it's simple. That's the secret. People complicate things. They control, they demand, they get jealous. But we just love. Shanika thinks. He's right. She never asks where he's going, who he's seeing, what he's deciding. He never tells her what to wear, who she should be friends with, what she should do. Freedom, trust, love. I knew you were smart, she smiles. But not that smart. I'm not smart. I was just lucky. I found you. And I found you. They kiss. Just like that. Because they can. Because they're close. Evening. It's raining outside. Shanika and Hyang aren't going anywhere. They're sitting at home, drinking tea, listening to music. Hyang, Shanika suddenly says. Yes? Take off your clothes. He raises an eyebrow. Right now? Right now. I want to see your back. Hyang grins. He takes off his t-shirt and sits on the floor with his back to the couch. Shanika sits behind him, wraps her legs around him, and looks at the drawing. Hair, eyes, lips, the mole on his neck. She traces her finger over the lines she already knows by heart. Warm skin, slight texture. You found me, she whispers. You came yourself. I came to look at the tattoo. And I stayed forever. Hyang feels her fingers on her back, her breath on her shoulder. Good. Calm. Home. I love you, Shanika. And I love you. She kisses his neck, where the mole is drawn. Then she hugs him tightly. You are mine, she says. All of you. With this back, with this history, with everything. Yours, he corrects. All of me. Night. The rain has stopped, and it's quiet outside. The room is dark, only the faint light from the street lamps filtering through the curtains. Shanika and Hyang are lying in bed. She has her back to him, and he's hugging her from behind. His hand is on her stomach. His breathing is even and warm. She's almost asleep, but she feels him. Feels every touch, every movement. Even in her dreams, she knows he's near. He's not sleeping. He's looking at her red hair, scattered across the pillow, listening to her breathing and thinking about how it all turned out. 6 months of dreams. One meeting on the street. An alley where she touched his back. Coffee, conversations, fears, doubts, and love, which came and stayed. On his back is her portrait, the very one he took when he didn't yet know she existed. In his arms is she herself, alive, warm, real. Sleep, he whispers. I'm here. She mumbles something in her sleep and snuggles closer. Hyang closes her eyes. Tomorrow will be a new day, a new morning, new coffee, new conversations. But the main thing is already here. They are here. Together. The story that began with a drawing on the skin never ends. It just goes on, every day, every night, every moment, forever. 3 months pass after the wedding. Shanika wakes up every morning, and the first thing she sees is Hyang's face. He always wakes up earlier and just looks at her. He says it's his favorite thing to do. You're scaring me, she mumbles sleepily. You sit there like a statue. You're beautiful when you're sleeping. And when I'm not sleeping? Also beautiful, but in a different way. She laughs and reaches out to him. The morning begins with hugs. This is their ritual. No phones, no errands. 5 minutes just for each other. Then breakfast. Shanika cooks something simple. Eggs, toast, fruit. Hyang tried to help at first, but quickly realized the kitchen wasn't his place. He's good at bossing people around and solving complex problems, but his eggs always burn. Sit down already, Shanika laughs. Your job is to get food, mine is to cook. It's not fair, he grumbles, but obediently sits at the table. They eat breakfast and discuss plans. Shanika has classes with the children today. Hyang has meetings. Their days are spent differently, but they try to spend the evenings together. Will I pick you up after work? Hyang asks. If you have time. I have until 6. I'll make it. He always makes it. Even if meetings drag on, he finds a way to get away. Because he promised. Because her smile is more important to him than anything else. Shanika comes. She arrives at the studio half an hour before the start. She loves this time. The silence, the smell of paint, the preparation of materials. She lays out brushes, paper, and pencils. Getting ready for class. The children arrive one by one. Some run, some walk with dignity. Each has their own character, their own manner. Shanika knows everyone by name, knows what they like to draw, and what problems they have. Today, there's a new girl, about 7 years old, shy, she hides behind her mother. Shanika squats down to be on the same level. Hello, she says softly. What's your name? Leah, the girl whispers. It's a beautiful name. Do you like to draw? The girl nods. What do you like to draw most of all? Horses. Excellent. I just happen to have some good paper for horses. Come on, I'll show you. The mother smiles gratefully and leaves. Leah carefully follows Shanika. An hour later, the girl is already laughing and showing off her drawing. The horse is a little crooked, but its eyes are shining. Shanika praises her and hangs the drawing on the wall. Leah beams. During the break, a message comes from Hyang. How are your artists doing? She takes a photo of the drawings and sends it to him. He replies, You're a magician. Shanika smiles at the phone like a fool. Hyang is at a meeting. People are sitting around the table, discussing issues. He listens, nods, and occasionally asks questions, calmly, confidently. His word is law here. During the break, he goes out into the hallway. One of his trusted men, Chan, is standing there. Everything quiet? Asks Hyang. Yes. No one is following her. Clean. Good. Let it be so. He is talking about Shanika, about her safety. After that incident with the search, he increased security. Not intrusively, so that she wouldn't notice. But there are always people around her, just in case. How are you? Asks Chan. They have known each other for many years. They can afford personal questions. Good, answers Hyang, and he smiles. Chan sees that smile and understands. The boss is really good, for the first time in many years. She's special, says Chan. Very. Take care of her. I will for the rest of my life. The meeting continues. Hyang works quickly, precisely. But one thought is in his head. In 3 hours, he will see her. And that is the main thing. Hyang picks Shanika up at exactly 6. He waits at the entrance, leaning against the car. She gets out, sees him, and smiles. Every time it's the same. Her heart skips a beat. Tired? He asks, opening the door. No, it's a good day. The new girl has arrived, Leah. She loves horses. Horses? Yes. Drawing. She is shy, but talented. Like you. Shanika laughs and gets in the car. They are driving home, but not directly. Hyang knows that she loves to watch the sunset, so he makes a detour and drives to the embankment. The sun is setting into the water. The sky is orange, beautiful. Thank you, Shanika says, looking out the window. For what? For remembering, for knowing, for existing. He takes her hand in his. They are silent. No words needed. At home, she's cooking dinner. He helps as much as he can, chopping vegetables, setting the table. He does it crookedly, but diligently. Shanika watches and smiles, such a serious man with a knife in his hands, cutting tomatoes into slices of varying thickness. Are you laughing? He asks. I'm admiring it. You're lying. A little. He comes up to her and hugs her from behind while she stands at the stove. He kisses the top of her head. I love you. And I love you. Move away or they'll burn. He moves away, but not far. He sits at the table and simply watches her conjure over the food. He loves the sight. She's wearing his t-shirt, barefoot, her hair pulled back into a bun. The most beautiful woman on earth. Saturday. There's no need to rush anywhere. They lie in bed until lunch. They talk, laugh, make plans. I want to show you this place, says Hyang. I haven't been there in a while. I think you'll like it. What? A secret. In an hour, they drive out of town. The road is long, but beautiful. Forests, fields, small villages. Shanika looks out the window and feels the tension melt away. She feels good, calm. They arrive at a lake. Small, quiet, surrounded by forest. The water is clear, you can see the bottom. There's no one around, just them. Beautiful, Shanika breathes out. I came here when I needed to think, many years ago. And what did I think about? About different things, about life, about being alone. And now? Now I think how lucky I am. They sit on the shore, looking at the water. Hyang talks about his childhood, about growing up, how he began his journey. Shanika listens without interrupting. It's important to her to know everything, every detail. Then they go swimming. The water is cool but pleasant. Shanika squeals when Hyang splashes. He laughs, rarely, but sincerely. Here, away from everyone, he allows himself to be simply himself. Not a leader, not in charge. Just a man who loves a woman. That evening, they drive back. Shanika falls asleep in the car, tired from the fresh air and excitement. Hyang slows down so as not to wake her. He looks at her in the rearview mirror and feels warmth spreading inside. He never thought this was possible, that you could be so calm, that you could just sit and watch the person you love sleep, and it would be the best moment of the day. At home, he carefully picks her up and carries her into the apartment. She wakes up, rubbing her eyes. Are we home? She asks sleepily. Yes. Sleep. You carried me? Yeah? Heavy? Light. He lays her down on the bed and covers her with the blanket. She reaches out, pulling him towards her. Lie with me. Right now. He quickly changes and lies down next to her. She immediately snuggles up, resting her head on top of him. Her red hair tickles her chin. Have a good day, she whispers. The best. Good night. Sweet dreams. She falls asleep almost immediately, and he lies there for a long time, stroking her head and thinking about how amazing life is. 6 months of dreams about this woman, and now she's here, next to him, his. On Monday, Shanika works from home, preparing new materials for classes, laying out paints. The doorbell rings. She looks through the peephole. An unfamiliar woman is standing in the stairwell, an elderly woman with a kind face. Who are you here to see? Shanika asks, opening the door slightly. If you're Shanika, then it's for you. I'm Hyang's aunt. Shanika opens the door wider. She knows Hyang has an aunt, but she's never met her. He said they were close, that she was like a mother to him. Come in, Shanika invites. The woman enters and looks around. She looks to be in her 60s, dressed simply but tastefully. Her eyes are intelligent and attentive. I wanted to meet you, she says. Hyang told me a lot about you. Well, not much. He hardly talks at all. But I understood the main thing. You are special to him. Come into the kitchen. Would you like some tea? With pleasure. They are sitting in the kitchen, drinking tea and cookies. Aunt asks about work, about life, about plans. Shanika answers honestly, without hiding anything. For some reason, she feels at ease with this woman. I was worried about him, admits Aunt. For many years. He was always alone. Work, worries, no personal life. I thought it would remain like this. And now I am calm. From the way he talks about you, I understand. Everything is fine. Shanika blushes. She is pleased. I love him very much, she says simply. I know, daughter. Otherwise, you would not be sitting here. In the evening, Hyang comes. He enters the kitchen and freezes, seeing Aunt. You are here? He is surprised. What, you can't? She pretends to be offended. Can't I meet my daughter-in-law? Of course you can. It was just unexpected. I wanted to see who could melt your heart. Hyang walks up to Shanika and kisses her on the cheek. Then he sits down next to her. So what do you think? He asks his aunt. She's a good girl, smart, kind, just the kind you need. I know. His aunt stays for dinner. Shanika is preparing her signature dish, a vegetable stew with spices. His aunt praises it and asks for the recipe. Hyang sits and looks at the two most important women in his life. He has a strange feeling, as if he's found what's always been missing. After dinner, his aunt is getting ready to leave. Hyang offers to walk her home. No need. She waves her hand dismissively. Young people should be together. I'll do it myself. At the door, she hugs Shanika. If anything happens, call me. I'm always here. And know this, you're my family now. Shanika nods, swallowing the lump in her throat. She hasn't had a family for a long time. Only her mother, who is far away. And now, Aunt Hyana has appeared, and Hyang himself, her husband. After her aunt leaves, they are left alone. Shanika washes the dishes. Hyang dries them. It's a routine, but there is so much warmth in it. Your aunt is good, says Shanika. Yes, she raised me. I know. She rarely comes to visit anyone herself, so she liked you. I think so. Hyang puts the plate in the cupboard and turns to her. Everyone likes you, he says. Just because you exist. Flatterer. Really? He hugs her, presses her to him. She smells of food and something familiar. Let's just sit today, she suggests. Let's not go anywhere, just be home. The best suggestion of the day. They settle down on the sofa with a blanket. They turn on a movie, but almost don't watch it. They talk. About everything and nothing. They laugh. They are silent. They feel good just being together. Shanika falls asleep on his shoulder. Hyang covers her with a blanket and looks at the ceiling. There is only one thought in her head. This is happiness. In the morning, Shanika wakes up and sees a box on the nightstand. Small, wrapped in simple paper. Next to it is a note. Just because, I love you. She opens it. Inside are paints, new, even better than the ones he gave before. The best there is. Shanika goes into the living room. Hyang is sitting with a cup of coffee and smiling. Are you crazy? She says. Why? Why? Just like that? It's expensive. You are more expensive. She comes over and sits on his lap. She hugs him around the neck. I love you. I know. Is that all you need? No. I need you to be happy. Everything else is details. She kisses him, long, tenderly. Then she breaks away and looks into his eyes. I'm happy. I know, he repeats. I see. In the evening, Shanika decides to draw. It's been a while since I picked up a brush for myself, always for work, for the children. But now I want to. She settles into the corner of the living room, sets up an easel, and lays out new paints. Hyang is sitting in a chair with a book, but isn't reading. He looks at her. Don't distract me, Shanika asks. Otherwise it won't work. I'm silent. She begins to paint. First a sketch, then color. The process is captivating. She forgets about everything. Just the canvas, the paints, and what's inside. After 2 hours, she steps back and looks at the result. On the canvas is a man. Large, calm. He's sitting in a chair with a book, but he's not looking at it, but somewhere to the side. Where he's looking is light. Shanika turns around. Hyang is still sitting in the chair, but he's put the book down. He looks at her. Is that me? He asks. I guessed it. Beautiful, very. Really, really, you are talented. She comes up to him and sits on the arm of the chair. He puts his arm around her waist. Should we hang it at home? He suggests. Really? Yes, I want to see it every day. Shanika smiles. Her drawing will hang in their house, a drawing with him in it, because he is her main inspiration. Late at night, they are lying in bed. The lights are off, only the moonlight filters through the curtains. Hyang, Shanika calls softly. Hmm? Do you want children? He is silent for a few seconds. Then he turns to her. And you? I ask. With you, yes. Without you, no. She rests her head on him. I want to too, she whispers. Someday. Whenever you want, tell me. I'm ready. Right now? Right now, tomorrow, in a year. Whenever you say. She smiles in the dark. He always says that. Doesn't press, doesn't rush, just waiting for her to be ready. I love you, she says. And I love you. Sleep. Good night. She closes her eyes and falls asleep. She dreams of a house, big and bright. There are children in the house. 2, a boy and a girl. The boy looks like Hyang, the girl looks like her. They laugh and run to them. A good dream. A month passes. Life flows smoothly, calmly. Work, home, evenings together. Shanika feels completely happy, but one morning she feels sick. She runs to the bathroom, stands over the sink, and doesn't understand what's happening. Yesterday she ate normal food, nothing special. Hyang knocks on the door. Is everything okay? Yes, I'll be right out. She washes herself, looks at herself in the mirror, and suddenly she understands. She counts the days in her mind. Her period. She didn't have one. She goes out. Hyang waits, worried. What happened? He asks. Nothing. I need to go to the pharmacy. I'll go. No, I'll do it myself. It's female. He doesn't argue. She just nods. Shanika quickly gets dressed and goes out. At the pharmacy, she buys a test. With trembling hands, she pays and runs home. 5 minutes later, she looks at 2 lines and can't believe her eyes. 2. She's pregnant. Shanika sits on the edge of the bathtub and looks at the test. Her thoughts are confused. She wanted children, but she didn't think it would be so soon. She needs to tell him. But how? Will he be happy? Scared? She goes out. Hyang is sitting in the living room, waiting. He looks at her questioningly. Well, is everything okay? Shanika comes up to him and sits down next to him. She takes his hand in hers. Hyang, she says, I have news for you. Bad? Good. Very. She puts the test in his hand. He looks at her, confused. What is this? It's a test. For pregnancy. He looks at the 2 lines, then at her, then at the lines again. You. Her voice breaks. Yes. I'm pregnant. Hyang is silent. For a long time, a very long time. Shanika is already starting to worry. Aren't you happy? She asks quietly. He looks up. There are tears in them. He is crying. Hyang, who never cries, who is always calm and collected, now he is sitting and crying. Glad, he breathes out. So happy. It's just, I didn't expect it. He hugs her, holds her tightly. Thank you, he whispers. Thank you for everything. From this day on, everything changes. Hyang becomes even more caring, if that is even possible. He carries her bags, makes sure she eats on time, walks her to and from work. You're smothering me with care, Shanika laughs. That's my job. Your job is to be in charge. Right now, my job is to take care of you and the baby. He talks to her belly. Every evening, says something quiet, tender. Shanika doesn't hear the words, but she feels the warmth. They go to the doctor. They look at a small spot on the monitor. The heart is beating, small, fast. Do you hear? The doctor whispers. This is your baby. Hyang squeezes her hand. He looks at the screen and can't look away. "Hello, baby," he says quietly. Shanika looks at him and feels her heart fill with love. This is her man, her family, her future. They leave the doctor's office, and Hyang suddenly stops in the middle of the street. "What?" asks Shanika. "I want us to move. To a house, big, with a garden, so the baby has somewhere to run around." "Are you crazy? It's expensive, a hassle." "I'll do everything, just say yes." Shanika looks at him and understands. He's serious. He wants the best for them. "Yes," she smiles. "Yes." They're moving in 2 months. A house outside the city, not too big, but cozy. With a garden where the apple trees are already blooming. With a terrace where they can sit in the evenings. With a room for the baby, which Shanika can already imagine. Hyang handled the move himself. He didn't let anyone else in on the organization. He wanted everything to be perfect. For her, for them. On the first evening in the new house, they are sitting on the terrace. Shanika's belly is already rounded. She strokes it with her hand. Hyang looks at the sunset. "It's beautiful," she says. "Very." "I mean the sunset." "And I mean you." She laughs. She nudges him with her shoulder. "You are incorrigible. And you are my life." They are silent, listening to the birds, the wind, the silence. The baby kicks inside Shanika, the first timid movements. "He's moving," she whispers. Hyang puts his hand on her belly, waits. Another kick. "Great," he breathes out. "Really great. You'll be a good father." "I'll try." "No need to try. You're already a good one." He kisses her temple. They feel good, peaceful, home.